So, I gotta have a serious conversation with you. I'm being honest. Have you tried this card in Scrap Dino? It's actually insane. I'm not gonna lie. It comes up very often where you can get an extra Dino out because there's a card that's a level 6 Fusion Dino, and you can bring it out as an extender with this card in Scrap Dino and make your Scrap Dino list a going first deck. It can go first, second, doesn't matter, breaks boards, sets boards up. It's actually insane. And I'm gonna show you the profile and the combos that enable you to do this. So let's get into the profile, and I'll do a couple combos to show you what I've been doing with some Scrap Dino. In the next couple days, I'll be posting some duels so you guys can check it out. I set up a poll in our community tab, and I asked what the profile was that you guys wanted to come up with, and I said I was gonna bring something spicy. You pick Scrap Dino, I'm bringing you Scrap Dino. So let's get it. Okay guys, let's dive right into this deck profile so you can check out what I'm running in my Dino deck. So to start off, of course we have our 3 Soul Eating Oviraptors. This card is kind of one of your, part of a 2-card combo because this plus Lost World equals full combo. And then as well, you have 1 Giant Rex. Giant Rex is a great card to banish off of the UCT summon, and then you get to summon back, and you can go into your rank 4 plays. And then we have 3 Baby Cerasauruses. This card obviously is your baby. You pop it, or if it's destroyed by card effect, then you get to summon back a level 4 or lower. As well as you have the 1 Petite Pterodon. So Petite obviously is level 4 or higher. This can come up huge, especially with Pank or maybe with Doggeran. So Petite is how you get to your level 4 and higher, and then Baby is how you get to your level 4 or lower. As well, you have 2 of the Archosaur. Archosaur obviously pivotal in searching the double evolution pill that summons the UCT, as well as being able to destroy a baby in order to search that double evolution pill. You have the 1 Misk. I'm not a fan of the gold rare, so I go with the common. But the 1 Misk, obviously, it's important. You want to get to Misk, and I feel like it's pretty easy to get to Misk between the Fossil Digs and everything else that you have running in the deck. Then you have your 2 Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, which is your boss monster of the deck. Basically, it's a Book of Moon for your opponent's entire board, which is very pivotal, especially if you're playing something like Tri Brigade and they summon, and then you can just book it and then still keep some of your other interruptions live. For the field spell, we have 3 Lost World. Lost World produces a token, and then your opponent can't target your monsters with card effects, which comes up a lot, especially with infinite impermanence and things like that. With activated effects, I think is what it is. As well as produces the token and can destroy instead of destroying the token, you can Lost World send a dinosaur from your deck or hand instead, which a lot of times is the baby. Then you have 3 Fossil Dig. This searches you a level 4 lower dinosaur. I'm sorry, level 6 or lower dinosaur, but you don't really run any, so it's always, level 4 is pretty much what comes up. You have your double evolution pills. This is how you search this off of the Archosaur by destroying a dinosaur, and then that is how you enable ultimately summon your Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. Now for the Scrap package, I've decided to run 2 Scrap Raptors. I think Scrap Raptor is really a boss monster in this deck. He does a lot. Scrap Raptor plus any other card like a baby or a token or Lost World is full combo again. So Scrap Raptor can definitely do a lot. And there's just a lot of different, I wouldn't say this deck is necessarily a 1-card combo as much as it is a lot of different pieces that you have in this deck that you can search, that you can get to, that create the combo. I do run the 1 Scrap Chimera. Scrap Chimera is an extra normal summon. After you destroy the Scrap Raptor, you can search this, summon it, and then bring back the Scrap Raptor. And I do like Scrap Golem in this deck. I think Scrap Golem's really good. If you draw one of your scraps, you can still pop off with the Wyvern, and you can still use your effect. You can bring it back, summon from deck, and then pop another card. As well as he brings back one of your scrap monsters from the graveyard, so it's an extra body that lets you go into Appaloosa, some different things like that. I do main deck 1 Pank because it's just searchable and it's so good. And it doesn't matter if you're going first or second. Like, Pank is just a boss monster. You want to be able to get to it. So I think main decking Pank, even in a going first deck, is correct. For some different cards, for some defensive cards, I run 3 Ash Blossom in this deck. And then, just in case I do go second, I run 3 Dark Ruler. Because my thinking is, if you could set your board up and I can Dark Ruler, and I can then freely set my board up, even though I'm giving you another turn, you're going to have to get through my board, which is going to be extremely difficult. So I don't need to OTK you. So I think that Dark Ruler comes in really good, especially Droplet. Like with this deck, Droplet, you have to send cards for cost, and you don't have enough searchable cards to be able to kind of chain Droplet to. Like for example, Fossil Dig being one of them. You could Fossil Dig, chain Droplet, send one, but you need your resources in hand. So that's why I like Dark Ruler better in this deck. And then I do play 2 Triple Tactics Talent, because if I get hand trapped or if I can steal an opponent's monster, I'm going to. It comes up a lot. I play 1 Called by the Grave. And then we have 3 Pot of Prosperity. So Pot of Prosperity, the extra deck is kind of free. You can then search and find the exact card that you need. And that's why Dark Ruler doesn't matter either, because basically if you're going second, you have Pot of Prosperity to search to set up your board, as well as Dark Ruler, which can shut down their engine. And then my tech option of the deck is 3 Ready Fusion. And I'm going to explain to you why. And I think Ready Fusion is actually really insane in this deck. I might change it a little bit, but Ready Fusion is actually insane in this card. So I'll explain why. Let's get into the extra deck. So for extra deck for Link 1, we have the Link Karibo. This is how you link your Archosaur off into Link Karibo, and that's how you get a dinosaur and a non-dinosaur monster on the field or in the grave in order to use your double evolution pill. I play 1 IP Masquerena, and I think it comes up a lot, and I like this card, and I'll show you another card why. I decided to add Pentastag into the deck because it came up once where I had 2 dinos on the field and I needed to get them into the grave in order to activate double evolution pill, and if I had Pentastag, I would have won that game. I'm going to post that dual replay in a couple days, so you're going to be able to see that, but if I had Pentastag in the extra deck, I would have actually won that game, but because I didn't, I couldn't link my dinos off. I had used Pot of Prosperity and I had banished, and I had Nightmare Phoenix, so another card that you could use, which is definitely okay. I was running over Pentastag, I was running Nightmare Phoenix. I figured I'm going to try out Pentastag and see what happens, but for now, I guess we can just leave Nightmare Phoenix in. It was a card that I had banished off Prosperity, so either one of the 2 are good for a Link 2. Then you have your Scrap Wyvern, which lets you get into your combos, and I'll show you what he does in the different combos. I have a Nightmare Unicorn, can be paired up with the IP and used on your opponent's turn, or if you're just going second in order to shuffle a card back, as well as Access Code for OTKing, and then Appaloosa is your Link 4 for going first. Now, I do like Appaloosa in this deck, but I don't like Appaloosa with Lost World. So if I have Lost World, I don't like Appaloosa, because if you go into, let's say you use 3 monsters and you get 3 bodies going into Appaloosa, Lost World causes it to lose 500 attack, and it loses a negate instantly. So like you could use 3 monsters, go into Appaloosa, but then it only has 2 negates, and it's down to 1900 attack, and it can be beaten over pretty easily, especially after you use 1 negate. So Appaloosa is a great card in this deck. I just don't think that you should go into it every single time, because when I have Lost World, I actually try to avoid going into Appaloosa, and I'll go into some different plays, because I just don't think it's that strong when you have Lost World. For a synchro, I have Burl Savage. Savage is one of those that it uses counters versus attack boost. It does gain the boost, but with the counters, it's still that Omni negate. And then for some rank 4 packages, I do play 1 Abyss Dweller. Abyss Dweller is good, especially against Phantom Knights and different things like that. Tornado Dragon is a tech option, just in case I need to clear some back row. Like I said, I did pull the Nightmare Phoenix for Pentastag, so I put Tornado Dragon in there. And then I just run 1 Dolka and 1 Lagia. It's really situational with those guys. It really helps you with the grind game, because you're going to be able to set up some more Omni negates, and then in grind, especially once you figure out what your deck your opponent's playing, then you could go into these guys and grind. Now for my techs on this deck that I am running that I'm extremely liking is Dino's put up actually a pretty big board. So with the IP, I do put Underworld Goddess in here, mostly because I think Underworld Goddess is really good. It has a negate to summon from grave, and as well as it's unaffected by cards except for ones that target it. So Underworld Goddess I think is a really good card. Paired with IP, you can even link summon on your opponent's turn. I like Underworld Goddess in this deck. I'm still trying it out. Again, it's a tech, but I do really enjoy it over, like, let's say Omega or maybe a Dugaris. I think Underworld Goddess comes up more than those cards. And then my Ready Fusion target is actually a Brachios Radius. So this card is actually insane, because not only is it giving you an extra dino on the field,
but as well as on top of being an extra dino, it's a level 6, which with your Scrap Raptor being a 4, you can then go into Baron. So I think that this is actually broken in this deck, and it actually comes up a lot. Another option is you could play the rank 5 or the level 5 fusion that's a tuner, and you could add that to the deck, so then you can use your Scrap Golem along with the Theseus, and then you can make a Baron that way. It comes up as well if you have, let's just say, your Scrap and then another level 4 and a baby on board. You can make, I just think that Baron comes up actually often in this deck, and I like running the Baron with the Brachioradius. I think it's a good call on this one. I'm not gonna lie. So that is the extra deck. I wanted to show you guys maybe some different tech options if you wanted to try some different cards out. One being Lambda, and you can play the Gamma package in the deck, of course. I did mention Dugaris. Dugaris can help with your OTKing. I do have the True King. If you're going to go first, you can run Terraforming and possibly search out the field spell to search this out and rip 3 cards from the extra deck. Of course, with Enforcer running around, that's a pretty big one. So you can try out True King. These 2 cards pretty much add you a little bit extra. I just didn't like that it wasn't consistent, and that's why I don't like that. And of course, you can run an extra Dolka as well. So let's get into a combo, maybe a couple combos, so I can show you what this board can do and what we can set up. Okay guys, let's go ahead and show you what a combo looks like with Lost World, because I want to make sure to include Lost World, because producing a token and then being able to pop and protect it, it's definitely a combo that you need to know in Dinos. It's a way to, if you can open up your full board and still go full combo, but if you open up Lost World in a Dino, it's basically a full combo as well. And right off the top, you saw me cut, so don't say I cheated that, right off the top. Another Lost World. Scrap Raptor, which is great, Pot of Prosperity, and a baby. Honestly, this hand is broken, so let's go through this combo. We don't even have to Pot of Prosperity, but if we did, we could just pot for 3. So let's do just for whatever. Tornado Dragon, Abyss Dweller, and we'll do Phoenix for 3. So we'll reveal Ready Fusion, and Dark Ruler. So it gets actually even more insane now that we added Ready Fusion. Okay, so pot resolved. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna activate Lost World, and then we're gonna normal summon our Scrap Raptor. Now Lost World is gonna activate, and we're gonna give our opponent a token, and now our dinos cannot be targeted. So that makes it very important. We're gonna activate Scrap Raptor effect. It's gonna destroy itself to search us out a Scrap Chimera. And this is gonna be real good. So we grab a Scrap Chimera. Then we get to normal summon our Scrap Chimera, bring back our Scrap Raptor, and then we're gonna go ahead and link those 2 off and go into the Scrap Wyvern. Scrap Wyvern effect is gonna activate. It's gonna bring back our Scrap Raptor, and it's gonna pop the Scrap Raptor. Now Wyvern effect is gonna activate again, and that's gonna enable us to bring out our Scrap Golem and then destroy the token. We're gonna Lost World protect the token, and we're gonna send a baby to grave to protect it. And now we get the baby effect, and that's gonna enable us to bring out our Soul Eating Oviraptor. Now we get not baby effect, I'm sorry. Now we have the Oviraptor effect, which is then gonna search us our Misk. And now our hand is getting insane. Now we have Scrap Golem effect, it's gonna be able to bring back our Scrap Raptor. And then from here, what you could do if you wanted to is you could go ahead and Ready Fusion. And you have Mist that you can chain. You can go ahead and bring out the Brock, because this combo is pretty much finished here, and you could go ahead and make your Baron. So that way you just have an Omni-Gate already. And now what you can do is you can look at your hand. Obviously, it's pretty insane. So we have Mist, which is going to destroy the baby. So we can actually, if we wanted to continue to play through, we can bring back our Scrap Raptor by using OV effect, and we could destroy the token that's already here, or we could bring out a baby. Honestly, there's a lot of different plays here. So probably we're gonna go ahead and let's Misk, and we're gonna Misk effect for 1. And that's gonna bring out our Archosaur. Archosaur effect will activate. We're gonna destroy the baby in hand and search a double evolution pill. Then the baby effect will activate, obviously bring out Giant Rex, and it just gets even more insane from here. So what we want to do now is let's go ahead and go into our Appaloosa with these 3. That Appaloosa is obviously pretty insane. And then we're still not finished because we can actually OV effect, targeting our Scrap Raptor. And we can destroy this token to bring back our Scrap Raptor. Now what you could do is you could take these two, turn them into a Savage, and you could equip Scrap Wyvern, and you can see how this just gets insane, right? And then, last thing you could do is you can double Evolution Pill, banish the Giant Rex, and let's just banish the Golem. That's gonna bring out a UCT. And Giant Rex effect will activate, summoning itself back. Then you could overlay these two. And if you wanted to, you could bring out Lagia since you have plenty of monster negates. You could bring out Abyss Dweller. You could bring out any rank 4 at this point. But basically, a Lost World and Scrap Raptor got us this entire board, and we still have a card in hand. And yeah, just insane, right? This deck just can do so much, and this was all off of a Lost World and Scrap Raptor. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Again, I think that adding the Ready Fusion and adding the Brock is actually insane in this deck. I thought about testing with Theseus and see if that plays into anything, but let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Hope you enjoyed this. I know you guys asked for it. So this has been Tyler with House of Cards TCG, signing out.